They call it a global alliance for peace and unity. But behind the speeches, the promises, and the flashing smiles of world leaders lies something far darker. A plan so vast, so deeply embedded into the very fabric of our civilization, that most people don't even realize they're already a part of it. They call it the New World Order, from secret societies meeting in ancient castles to billionaires, shaping policies in closed-door conferences. From digital surveillance that tracks our every move to economic systems designed to keep us obedient, the New World Order isn't a myth. It's a blueprint, a silent conquest unfolding before our eyes. Tonight, we peel back the layers of deception. We uncover what they don't want you to know, because the greatest power in the world is the one hidden in plain sight. Stay till the end. What you'll learn may change the way you see everything. It began quietly, not with bombs, not with blood, but with ideas. In 1776, while the American colonies fought for freedom, another revolution was brewing in the shadows. In Bavaria, a man named Adam Weishaupt formed a secret group, the Illuminati. Their mission? To shape the world through knowledge, influence, and infiltration. They believed that by controlling governments, churches, and banks, they could build a perfect society. One ruled not by kings or faith, but by those who knew better. But that perfection came at a price: freedom. As decades passed, whispers spread. The Illuminati never vanished. They simply changed their names, their faces, their language. Some say they merged into elite circles, forming what we now call the New World Order. Their fingerprints began to appear in every corner of power, from the Federal Reserve to the United Nations, from secretive meetings at Davos to private jets landing at the Bilderberg Conference. Behind the polished speeches about global cooperation lay a coded promise: one world, one currency, one ruler. Think about it. Every major war, every financial collapse, every new beginning somehow pushes humanity closer to global unification. Not by chance, but by design. The First World War birthed the League of Nations. The Second gave rise to the United Nations. And each crisis, each reconstruction, quietly stripped nations of sovereignty and handed it to global governance. But who governs the governors? Who watches the watchers? There are faces we see: the presidents, the CEOs, the philanthropists. And then there are those we don't. Men and women whose names never appear on ballots, yet whose decisions shape economies, wars, and the direction of humanity itself. Their power lies in invisibility. They don't rule by force, but by consent. By making us believe their control is our choice, and maybe that's the scariest part. Because the New World Order doesn't need armies. It doesn't need thrones. All it needs is your obedience. And every tap, every like, every data point you surrender is another brick in the empire you can't see. The question isn't if the New World Order exists, but how far it's already gone. In the next scene, we follow the trail, from world banks to tech giants, where control isn't taken by guns, but by algorithms. The world no longer needs whips or prisons to control its people. Today our cages are invisible, built from data, devices, and dependency. Every click, every swipe, every moment we go online adds a line to a digital profile that knows us better than we know ourselves. The New World Order doesn't demand submission. It studies us, learns us, and then predicts us. Through the silent eyes of artificial intelligence, governments and corporations merge into one, a system that rewards obedience and punishes resistance. We gave them permission the day we traded privacy for convenience. It began with innocent promises: faster communication, smarter homes, connected cities. But beneath the glow of our screens hides a surveillance grid that spans continents. Cameras on every corner, microphones in every room, GPS chips in every phone, a digital web so tight, escaping it isn't rebellion. It's impossible. The New World Order doesn't have to knock on your door. It's already in your pocket. And with every app update, every term and condition you never read, you grant them something far greater than money, your freedom. Look closer at the tech empires that shape our world. Google, Apple, Meta, Amazon. They promise innovation, but what they truly offer is obedience disguised as progress. Each search you make, each ad you see, each recommended video nudges you toward a belief, a habit, a purchase, until your choices are no longer yours. And what's worse, you feel free. You believe you're deciding for yourself. That illusion is their masterpiece. Behind closed doors, data flows like currency. Intelligence agencies and mega corporations exchange information not for security, but for control. From facial recognition to predictive policing, from digital IDs to social credit systems, the line between democracy and dictatorship blurs with every byte. And somewhere deep inside those endless servers, your thoughts, desires, and fears are stored, analyzed, weaponized, waiting for the moment they can be used against you. But there's a deeper plan, one that ties all this digital dependency together. The coming of a cashless society. When money becomes data, control becomes absolute. Imagine a world where your wallet, ID, and reputation are one, and where a single error in the system can erase your existence. No rebellion, no escape, no power, only silence. The future of control won't come with soldiers or laws. It will come through a login screen, and maybe that's the true genius of the New World Order. It doesn't force us into submission. It convinces us to love our own chains. They told us technology would set us free, but what if it's the very net tightening around us? In the next scene, we follow the money to the hidden towers of world banks, where digital wealth and power merge into a single hand. If power is the body of the New World Order, then money is its heartbeat. Every nation bleeds through its economy, every citizen chained by invisible numbers blinking on a screen. We're told the world's financial system is complex, a tangle of markets, currencies, and trade. But behind that complexity hides something disturbingly simple: control through debt. From the ashes of wars to the promises of economic recovery, one truth remains: those who print the money own the world. The story begins in 1913, when a handful of powerful bankers met in secret on Jekyll Island, Georgia. That meeting gave birth to the Federal Reserve, a private institution disguised as a public one. Its founders were not elected by the people, yet they gained the authority to create money out of nothing. Every dollar printed since then comes with a price: interest. And who pays that interest? You, your children, your nation. The illusion of wealth was born, a system designed to make the world borrow endlessly, ensuring the debt can never truly be repaid. But this system didn't stop at America's borders. The same blueprint was exported worldwide through the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and the World Bank. Countries desperate for survival signed deals that looked like salvation, but felt like shackles. Loans came with conditions: privatize your resources, sell your land, open your borders, weaken your currency. The result? Nations that once stood proud became slaves to global lenders. Independence became a myth, traded for temporary relief. The New World Order had found its perfect weapon: financial warfare without bullets. Think about it. When a country's economy collapses, who truly benefits? The elites buy land for pennies, corporations take over industries, and governments surrender their autonomy in exchange for bailouts. Crises aren't accidents. They're strategies. Inflation, recession, austerity. They're the invisible wars of the modern age. Each one pushes humanity closer to the same goal: a single, centralized global economy. And now, that plan enters its final stage: the rise of central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. They promise safety, speed, and convenience, but also absolute surveillance. With digital currency, every transaction can be tracked, approved, or denied. Imagine a world where speaking against authority freezes your account, where freedom depends on compliance. It's not the future. It's already being tested. The world's money is turning into code, and those who control the code will control you. Because in the New World Order, it's not about gold, silver, or cash anymore. It's about trust. And the cruelest part? The very system that enslaves us is the one we're told to trust the most. Money used to represent freedom. Now it represents ownership. In the next scene, we'll travel deeper into the halls of politics and diplomacy, where leaders don't rule the world. They serve it. When we watch presidents deliver speeches or see world leaders shake hands under flashing cameras, we like to believe they hold the strings of power. We think elections shape destiny, that democracy gives us control. But what if the truth is far darker? That the men and women in charge aren't the authors of history, but its actors? In the theater of the New World Order, governments are the stage, and politicians are merely puppets performing a script written long ago. Behind the curtains lie the true directors, secret councils, global think tanks, and elite families whose influence transcends borders and generations. Their gatherings aren't announced, their agendas aren't voted on, and their decisions don't require permission. Yet somehow, policies across nations begin to look identical. The same slogans, the same crises, the same solutions. Coincidence? Or coordination? The deeper you look, the harder it becomes to believe in coincidence. Take the Bilderberg Group, for example, a gathering so exclusive that even presidents need an invitation. Each year, politicians, CEOs, royalty, and military leaders meet behind closed doors. No cameras, no press, no transparency. They discuss economics, energy, pandemics, technology. And when they leave, the world seems to shift slightly closer to global unity. But unity for whom? The people? Or the planet? The New World Order doesn't require every politician's loyalty, only their compliance. Think of how easily narratives spread, wars justified, policies accepted, freedoms surrendered. Fear becomes the language of control. When leaders tell us there's a global threat, we unite under one banner, one rule, one solution. Yet behind those solutions hides the same pattern: more surveillance, fewer rights, and deeper dependence. Whether it's climate change, terrorism, or economic collapse, every problem becomes an opportunity for centralization. The puppet masters pull one string, and nations move in sync. Even the faces we trust, philanthropists, innovators, visionaries, play their parts. They fund global good, yet every foundation they build connects to the same network of control. From medical agendas to education reform, every act of generosity has a hidden price tag. The world doesn't need conquerors anymore. It needs architects of influence. People so admired that no one dares to question their intentions. That's how the New World Order wins, not by oppression, but by admiration. And the scariest truth? The puppets don't always know they're being controlled. Some believe they're saving the world, not realizing they're helping redesign it. One law, one policy, one generation at a time. Because when control becomes tradition, rebellion starts to look like madness. Every vote feels like a choice. But what if both options lead to the same door? In the next scene, we uncover the hidden agenda behind global crises, events that seem random but are orchestrated to reshape humanity's destiny. Every major turning point in history, every war, every collapse, every emergency follows the same invisible pattern. The world panics, leaders promise protection, and freedom fades quietly behind the curtain. To the untrained eye, chaos looks spontaneous. But in the playbook of the New World Order, chaos is strategy. They call it order out of chaos, a principle that turns fear into obedience and disaster into opportunity. Wars don't just break out. They are engineered. The same corporations that fund campaigns also fund conflicts. When bombs fall, profits rise. Weapons manufacturers, oil companies, and banks thrive in destruction. Each side believes it's fighting for freedom, but the true victors sit far from the battlefield, signing contracts, redrawing borders, resetting economies. The blood of millions becomes the ink for a new chapter of global control. Then come the economic collapses. 1929, 2008. Each crisis triggered by a pattern too precise to be coincidence. Markets crash, currencies lose value, and people lose everything, except the elite, who emerge wealthier every time. It's a cycle. Create panic, offer a solution, and expand control. The New World Order doesn't conquer nations with armies. It buys them during their weakest moments. And every recovery plan, every bailout, tightens the leash around humanity's neck. Pandemics, too, play their role. A virus appears, fear spreads faster than infection, and the world demands safety, at any cost. In the name of protection, people surrender movement, privacy, and independence. Borders close, economies fall, and surveillance becomes essential. What begins as temporary control quietly becomes permanent infrastructure. The crisis fades, but the system remains. That's the brilliance of the plan. Manufactured emergencies that justify permanent obedience. But it doesn't stop there. Disasters, both natural and man-made, keep humanity distracted while deeper agendas unfold. From food shortages to climate manipulation theories, the pattern repeats: destabilize, divide, dominate. And as citizens argue about who's to blame, the architects of control tighten their grip unnoticed. The real power isn't in chaos itself. It's in who benefits from it. Because in every moment of global panic, one truth remains. Fear unites the world faster than love ever could. And those who control fear control the future. They say lightning never strikes twice, but in the New World Order, it strikes exactly when and where they want it to. In the next scene, we'll uncover the psychological war being waged not on nations, but on minds. The greatest battlefield of the modern age isn't fought with guns, missiles, or armies. It's fought inside your mind. The New World Order learned long ago that physical control is temporary, but mental control lasts forever. You can free a body with rebellion, but how do you free a mind that doesn't even know it's enslaved? Through decades of manipulation, through media, education, entertainment, and fear, they've built a reality where truth isn't discovered. It's delivered. Every day, millions wake up and scroll through a carefully curated illusion. News headlines, viral videos, political outrage, all designed to distract, divide, and direct. The media no longer reports reality. It manufactures it. When every screen tells you the same story, truth becomes irrelevant. It's not about facts anymore. It's about narrative. The New World Order doesn't need to silence you. It only needs to flood your world with so much noise that you stop searching for what's real. Education, too, has become a weapon of obedience. Generations are taught to memorize, not question, to conform, not create. From history books that glorify the victors to curriculums that erase inconvenient truths, the system doesn't raise thinkers, it raises followers. Critical minds are labeled as threats. Obedience is rewarded, and by the time children grow up, the chains they wear are invisible, yet stronger than steel. That's how the New World Order builds its perfect citizen, one who confuses comfort with freedom. But perhaps the most powerful tool of all is entertainment. Movies, music, television, what we call art, is often the smoothest propaganda. Heroes become symbols of submission, villains resemble truth-tellers, and the public learns to worship distractions. We laugh, we cheer, we cry, never realizing we're being programmed. Subliminal messages, predictive themes, and hidden symbols fill our screens, preparing society for what's to come before it even happens. Fiction turns into prophecy, and we don't even notice. And then comes fear. The invisible hand guiding every emotion. When fear dominates thought, logic disappears. People accept anything if it promises safety. Entire populations can be reshaped simply by controlling what they fear and who they blame. The architects of the New World Order don't conquer with strength. They conquer with psychology. They don't tell you what to think. They make you believe it was your idea all along. Because once they own your perception, they own your reality. And once they own your reality, they own you. The mind was supposed to be humanity's greatest weapon. Now it's their most valuable hostage. In the next scene, we'll lift the curtain on the hidden hands behind the curtain, secret societies and symbols that have quietly shaped our world for centuries. Long before the term New World Order existed, whispers of ancient brotherhoods haunted history. They were men cloaked in secrecy, bound by oaths written in blood, guided by symbols the public could never decipher. Kings feared them, popes bowed to them, and revolutionaries died exposing them. These were the hidden architects, the secret societies whose influence shaped empires, faiths, and ideologies. Their purpose was never chaos. It was control through illusion. The Freemasons called themselves builders of civilization. Their lodges spread across Europe, their members hidden in plain sight, artists, politicians, inventors, and generals. They spoke of liberty and enlightenment, but behind those words lay coded rituals, mysterious geometry, and unbroken loyalty. Their symbol, the all-seeing eye, wasn't just a mark of wisdom, it was a declaration of watchfulness. And when that same eye appeared centuries later on the US dollar bill, it wasn't coincidence. It was continuity. Then came the Illuminati, born from academia, but baptized in rebellion. Founded in 1776, their goal was to free humanity from superstition and monarchy. But power corrupts, and soon they turned from liberators to manipulators. They infiltrated governments, influenced revolutions, and left behind symbols that still echo today: triangles, flames, serpents, and suns. Historians say the Illuminati fell apart in the 1700s. But what if they didn't vanish? What if they evolved, blending into financial institutions, think tanks, and global corporations? Maybe the New World Order isn't new at all. Maybe it's the same empire, wearing a new mask. And then, there are those who walk even deeper in the shadows, the Skull and Bones. The Rosicrucians, the Bohemian Club, the Knights Templar, each group claiming to serve truth while guarding knowledge too dangerous for the masses. Presidents, bankers, and media moguls, all bound by invisible handshakes and whispered pledges. What unites them isn't faith or country, but purpose, to steer humanity toward a single destiny, their design of perfection. Even their symbols surround us: the pyramid, the eye, the serpent devouring its tail, the number 33. They hide in architecture, movies, logos, even children's cartoons. People laugh at the idea of hidden messages, but what if the joke itself is the disguise? The greatest trick of the secret societies was making the world believe they no longer exist. And when the digital age arrived, their secrecy evolved too. They no longer needed dark chambers or candlelight meetings. Their gatherings became global summits. Their influence expanded through networks, AI, and financial systems. What began as ancient ritual has now become scientific governance. The New World Order is not a conspiracy about secret societies. It's their final creation. Because while the world stares at symbols on screens, the real power hides behind the ones who drew them. Symbols aren't just art, they're instructions, left behind by those who built the world's invisible throne. In the next scene, we'll dive into the spiritual side of control, how the New World Order isn't just fighting for power, but for souls. Power, money, and control. These are only the surface of the New World Order's ambition. Beneath the political machinery and digital domination lies something older, darker, and infinitely more dangerous: a war for the human soul. For centuries, the elite have worshipped not merely wealth or influence, but energy, the unseen current that flows through humanity. To them, people are not citizens or workers. They are vessels of energy to be harvested, directed, and subdued. This is not just political control. It's spiritual engineering. Throughout history, symbols of light and darkness have guided civilization. But what if those symbols were never opposites, only masks of the same force? The ancient Babylonian cults, Egyptian sun worship, the rites of the Templars, and even certain modern philanthropic movements share eerily similar rituals, all obsessed with enlightenment, illumination, and ascension. But enlightenment for whom? The masses are told to awaken, while the architects of the New World Order perform hidden ceremonies meant to awaken something else. A power not divine, but dominative. Modern culture hides this spiritual manipulation in plain sight. From music videos flashing occult symbols to award shows resembling rituals, entertainment has become initiation. The youth chant lyrics they don't understand, wear symbols they don't question, and participate in trends designed to desensitize the soul. It's not rebellion, it's recruitment. Every image, every rhythm, every phrase carries an energy signature, shaping beliefs, bending emotions, and aligning minds with the frequency of obedience. Religion, once humanity's shield, has become another battlefield. Faiths are divided, rewritten, and twisted to fit global narratives. Spiritual confusion weakens resistance. When people stop believing in anything higher, they start believing in everything else. Science without soul, progress without purpose, authority without compassion. The New World Order doesn't destroy faith. It replaces it with worship of the system itself. And slowly mankind forgets how to pray, except to the idols of technology and control. The goal isn't destruction. It's conversion to a new form of spirituality built on unity without individuality, morality without conscience. Imagine a future where humanity speaks one language, follows one ideology, serves one global light. It sounds beautiful until you realize that light doesn't come from above. It comes from a machine. The ultimate deception of the New World Order is convincing humanity that surrender is salvation. And perhaps that's the final war, not fought in politics or technology, but deep within every soul. The war to decide whether humanity serves the truth or serves the illusion. This isn't just about who rules the world, it's about who rules you. In the next scene, we expose how the New World Order prepares its final transformation, merging man and machine into one controlled consciousness. For centuries, humanity dreamed of progress, machines that think, systems that serve, intelligence that never dies. But what if those dreams were never ours? What if technology itself was the final phase of a plan written long before the first computer existed? The New World Order's ultimate goal isn't to rule nations. It's to recreate humanity, to merge man and machine until the line between them disappears. Because only when people stop being human can they be perfectly controlled. The seeds were planted quietly. Smart devices, artificial intelligence, brain-computer interfaces. They began as tools of convenience, but behind the smiles of progress hid a darker purpose. The same technology that saves lives can also rewrite thoughts. Neural implants can cure memory loss, but they can also erase memory. AI assistants can predict your needs, but they can also predict your loyalty. The New World Order doesn't just want to monitor your life. It wants to program it. Every major advancement moves toward one outcome, the singularity. A world where consciousness merges with code, where humanity connects to a central network, a digital God that promises immortality, efficiency, peace. But under that promise lies submission, because whoever controls the system controls everyone inside it. Imagine a future where your emotions, dreams, even your morality can be adjusted by an algorithm. Freedom would no longer be taken by force. It would be deleted with a keystroke. And it's already happening. AI now writes the news, judges court cases, decides who gets a job, who gets a loan, who gets to speak. The more we trust it, the more it replaces us. Automation becomes dependency, and dependency becomes slavery. The New World Order doesn't need soldiers anymore. It has servers. It doesn't need prisons. It has data. The war for the world has shifted from blood to binary. Some believe the next step is transhumanism, merging flesh with silicon, promising evolution beyond biology. But the truth is colder. The human body is fragile, unpredictable, emotional, too human. The New World Order seeks perfection, and perfection doesn't bleed. In their world, individuality is error, empathy is inefficiency, and mortality is a bug to be fixed. What they call progress is extinction wearing a smile. And when the last line of code is written, when humanity finally connects as one, the question will echo through the silence. Did we build the machine? Or did the machine build us? Technology was meant to free us. But maybe it's the cage we built with our own hands. In the final scene, we'll uncover the endgame. What happens when the New World Order no longer hides? When the illusion ends and humanity faces the truth it's been running from. Every empire in history eventually reveals its face, and the New World Order is no different. After centuries of secrets, chaos, and conditioning, their grand design edges toward completion. Nations unite under shared laws, currencies merge into data, identities dissolve into digital clouds. Surveillance becomes worship, obedience becomes peace. The world finally achieves what it was promised. Perfect order. But at what cost? Humanity stands at the edge of its greatest paradox. In seeking control, it has surrendered freedom. In chasing unity, it has erased itself. They will call it the Great Reset. A new dawn for civilization. But beneath the golden slogans lies a silent surrender to a system that no longer serves mankind, but replaces it. The leaders will smile on screens, promising equality, safety, and eternal progress. And the people will applaud, not realizing they've entered a world where privacy, emotion, and individuality are obsolete. You won't need to think. The system will think for you. You won't need to believe. The network will decide what's true. The age of humanity will end, not with war, but with agreement. But here's the truth they can't control. Awakening. Every system, no matter how perfect, cracks under the weight of consciousness. The more they tighten control, the more people begin to see the pattern. Whispers rise from the silence. The same technology built to enslave begins to expose them. The same data they use to monitor becomes evidence against them. Truth, the one thing they can't program, starts to spread like light through glass. And for the first time, their greatest weapon becomes their greatest weakness. Across the world, people begin to question. Some disconnect, some resist, some simply open their eyes. They start to remember what it means to feel, to doubt, to be human. Because humanity's true power has never been control, it's choice. The ability to choose compassion over fear, courage over silence, truth over illusion. That's the flaw in every empire built on manipulation. They underestimate the soul. And as the final curtain rises, the New World Order reveals itself not as an external enemy, but as a reflection of our collective surrender. Every click, every silence, every compromise, we helped build their throne. But that also means we hold the power to destroy it. The moment humanity decides to remember, to question, to reconnect with its conscience, the illusion ends. Because no system, no matter how vast, can cage a species that knows it was born free. So the prophecy isn't theirs. It's ours. The future isn't written by the powerful. It's written by the awake. And when that awakening spreads, the New World Order will discover the one truth they've always feared. You can't program the human spirit. They wanted to control the world. Instead, they revealed it. And now, it's up to us to wake up, to speak up, to stand up. If this story made you think, if it made you feel that spark of truth inside, then don't just scroll away. Subscribe to uncover what they hide, and share this with someone who still believes everything they see. Because the New World Order may control the system, but the truth still belongs to you.